Like I'm in the big leagues. Yeah, told him I'ma hit it out the stands. I deserve another 100 bands. I deserve another 100 fans. Told them this was always in the plans. I just did it cause they said I can. Blowing euros when I'm down in France. Labels asking how I build a brand. Told them put a check up in my hands. Still got time, no cap. Made a few checks, but they all in the rest. Had a few friends, but they stuck in the past. I don't even trip when I'm thinking about that. Hopped in the whip and we all in black. Shawty wanna ride till I hop in the back. 0 to 100, seen the rev on the dash. They ain't catching up, dog, I'm moving too fast. I'm in the big leagues. Told them don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston, ayy, feeling like Whitney. I need a bag, bruh, send it through quickly. I'm making his dog, like I'm in a big league.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to TDPHINSTALK, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. We are live here on January 31st, 2022. Man, we are already 1 month down in this new year. I mean, time is already flying. January feels like it was never here, man. Time is definitely flying. We're already going to be going into February tomorrow. And football is getting ready to wrap up and come to an end as far as playing games. We got the Pro Bowl and we have the Super Bowl, and then we will be officially hitting the off season. But unfortunately for our beloved Miami Dolphins, we have already hit the off season because we are trying to make plans to make our team better overall. One of those primary plans would happen to be the head coaching position. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the Jim Harbaugh rumors. We're going to talk about the Joe Burrow lesson and the Matt Stafford lesson. Those are two topics that we're going to discuss today. If you could do me a favor, hit that like button on your way in the building. We already have 170 people watching, but only 60 likes. Y'all already know what time it is. Let's get to 100 likes so we can go ahead and get started. Thank you to all the members of the channel for continuing to show your love and support. We just added a brand new member. Curtis Williams just joined the membership. Salute to you with the Pro Bowl status. We thank you for your contribution and your dedication to this channel. I hope you enjoy the membership, and let's go, man. And shout out to the Mod Squad. Mod Squad, we've been adding more and more mods lately. We asked our mods to do their very best to create a healthy, cohesive comment section. Also, that includes allowing people to voice their opinions, whether they agree or disagree with any narrative that is being presented at all times. Anyone outside of that, we try to remove their mod away because I think mods have such a great responsibility. First of all, you're doing it out of the kindness of your heart, but it is a very important role to the overall success of the channel in the comment section. So I always view our mods very highly in this community, And that's why I make the people mods that I make. I'm proud of those individuals and what they mean to this channel. So to all of them, thank you so much. Please continue to do a great job, because you're one of the main reasons this channel continues to grow. But make sure we allow people to view their opinions. All right. We don't want any mod abuse. That's what we're gonna call it, mod abuse. We don't want any of that. All right. If you're not doing much work at all, mods, that mean that you've created a healthy comment section. The least that you have to do means the comment section is healthy. Okay. So we're hoping to get to that point to where you don't have to do much at all. Oh, Russell, man, I'm sorry for taking your mod away, but I took everyone's mod away because some mods they were not being responsible with it, but I just added you back, bro. Okay. Same thing with you, Inman. I just added you back as well. So I know I got a lot of people, bro. What happened? You took my mod. That's I didn't do anything wrong. I'm out of here. Like, I took everybody's mod away. That way I could start over and make sure I mod up the people that I really know contributes to this channel, man. And I know some names very well that really do. Anyway, here we go. Let's go ahead and dive in. Let's get started on today's stream. Got some great conversations to have. First and foremost, I want to address the Jim Harbaugh rumors. All right. So from my understanding, ladies and gentlemen, one guy with the blue check mark came out and started talking about Jim Harbaugh potentially coming to Miami. That's it. That's all the credibility you have. Everything else is rumors and sources around the league. And even that blue check mark cited a source. So I've gotten to this place where I'll believe it when I see it. So it doesn't even matter at this point. The Miami Dolphins have disappointed us on the surface. The only thing that is good about this situation is they definitely have an opportunity to redeem themselves. They definitely have an opportunity to turn this around and turn everything that's happening from disappointment to an amazing plan. I've always told you guys, when we fired Brian Flores, whether it was justifiable or not, he's gone. Who cares? It's happened now. Ain't nothing you can do about that, right? I've always said, if we get another coach, when we get another coach, as long as it's an upgrade, no one should be disappointed. As long as it's an upgrade, no one should be disappointed. The unfortunate part of it all, every candidate that we've interviewed is not going to be an upgrade over Brian Flores. It's a hopeful upgrade, but every candidate that we've interviewed did not have credentials or a track record to say that it would be an upgrade. And that has been my problem. We haven't interviewed Jim Harbaugh that we know of, right? We haven't interviewed Jim Caldwell, Doug Peterson, anybody who would be an upgrade. I don't see where the interviews are. We just don't know. And that's my biggest issue. I wanted a clear-cut upgrade so we can get out of this guessing game, because the problem with the Miami Dolphins lately is every move they make is an unknown, to where it's a guess. And don't get me wrong, you could bring in Harbaugh and it could be an unknown. We might not win a single game. Who knows? But again, didn't we talk about possibilities over probability the other day? It's like we just don't operate in probability at all. Everything is a possibility instead of giving us good probabilities. And that's the issue that I've had with the decisions that have been made as of late. I don't care about firing Flores. It is what it is. I've heard stuff that I didn't like about him, but I also heard things that I actually like about him. So that's not even an issue. But as a responsibility to the organization and its fans, at some point we got to stop operating out of possibility and start looking at some probability. And it seems like we just straight up bypass that. Salute to the homie Ball Game. I see you in here, man. We just straight up bypass that. And it's frustrating. So this Jim Harbaugh news is a wild card in my opinion. I mean, have I heard rumblings? I've heard rumblings myself, yeah, but again, even the rumblings I'm hearing is not substantiated when I probe. When I talk to people that I talk to in sources, when I probe them, it's not substantiated. And the best source that I have that I feel like is my best source is saying that it is a possibility. And that's all I can go off of. It's a possibility. But I've heard from anyone credible that this is exactly the secret that's about to happen. I hope so. I want Jim Harbaugh. Because if Jim Harbaugh decides to keep Tua, I know that he feels that he can put the right people around him to help him become a really good quarterback. And if Jim Harbaugh says, I don't want Tua, I need to upgrade, is because of his professional evaluation is basically saying he's not the guy, and I trust that. Either way. Either way. That's all I want. That's all I want. So this whole Jim Harbaugh stuff, we know he interviewed with the Vikings yesterday. Obviously, we don't see any job being offered yet or him deciding he wants to go there if they did offer it. So we'll sit back and continue to watch that situation. That report that came out 2 days ago or yesterday said that he would be informing Michigan today that he would not be coming back. And we'll see if that comes to fruition. But until it happens, it's a possibility. And we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. We won't go overboard and do anything super extra. We'll just leave it at that. So I'm in the mind frame of when it happens, I'll believe it. And if it happens, I'll just go crazily excited because I feel like, oh my gosh, he's going to bring a staff that can help Tua, or he's just going to get rid of Tua. Either way, it's fine with me because I think I trust his judgment based off of his ability to win. Based off of his ability to win. And that's where I'm at with it. So hit that like button and we're going to continue with this content. All right. That's where I'm at with it. The alternative, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, the front runner as the alternative is Mike McDaniels. I've told you all before, like we said, possibility versus probability. If we had to choose between Daboll and Mike McDaniels, I want Mike McDaniels. I told y'all I never wanted Daboll. I do not like Daboll. Daboll's resume of 25 years does not impress me. The only thing impressive is living off the back of a good quarterback in Josh Allen. Outside of that, his resume just does not impress me. I've never wanted Daboll. And when New York hired him and he chose New York, I was happy. And go look at New York now. They all on Twitter in an outrage, mad at the fans because half the fans already know he ain't the guy. Half the fans are all screaming to the top of their lungs, oh my gosh, Daboll is the worst. I can't believe y'all brought him here. But we don't know. Time will tell. We'll see how New York does from this point on. And we'll see if Daboll can bring over the quarterback's coach to New York. That was the only benefit for bringing Daboll to Miami is his ability to bring the quarterback coach with him, and maybe that would have helped Tua if we decide to move on with Tua. And Daboll decided he wanted to go to New York. Now, all this narrative of me when I said Daboll chose New York over Miami and everybody got mad. He didn't chose them over Miami. They offered him a job. I'm sorry, I don't subscribe to that narrative. When you're talking millions, it's a whole different ball game. You don't go into a job interview when you're trying to make $30,000. The first person offer you a job, you take it because you just need a job. But when you're talking millions, when someone offers you a job, you got every right to say, let me take one day to think about it or whatever. And they'll say, can you please let me know by this day because, we have to make decisions. Daboll could have easily said, well, I got a second interview with Miami and I just need to make sure that I understand what they're offering because I got to do what's best for me and my family at the end of the day. He could have easily have done that, but he didn't do that. He just straight up said, I'll take the job. So this narrative, oh, how can you say he chose New York over Miami and Miami never offered him a job? That's like going into an interview and somebody offer you $100,000, but you got another interview and you know that might be $300,000. You just gonna take the $100,000? No, you're gonna say, hey, let me take a few days to think about this and go from there. This ain't one of them little simple jobs in this world. These millions. You can actually, they loved you. They offered you the job first. You were their best option. They don't get mad. Oh, well, you need to think about it. Well, we'll go with that person. No, you were the best option. It's the NFL. You cannot afford to get it wrong. You let that person take his time. It's already hard enough to bring talent into the building as Miami, as the Dolphins. So I'm sorry. Daboll chose New York. He chose them. Declined a second interview, basically, with Miami. And in essence, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Why would you just choose them? Because you looked at the circumstance. You looked at the dysfunction over in Miami's front office. You looked at the fact that the general manager could, also be on the hot seat soon. So if he ends up getting fired, a new GM might fire me because they like to bring their own guys in. Miami's job is too risky, y'all. The Miami job is too risky. Any coach coming into Miami would have to understand they could be a one-year coach. Because if Greer gets fired, the new GM may say, hey, I want to bring in my own coaching staff. And Miami needs to stop trying to engage in this dangerous game. We want you to be a coach, but you got to keep the defensive coaches, even though that ain't your staff. You got to be held accountable for people you didn't pick. We want you to be the coach, but you got zero control over any or input over any decisions made with personnel. Just coach. So what you going to do? Hire a coach and guarantee you they won't get fired if Chris Greer get fired? So now you're going to bring a general manager in now that you trying to get a good general manager and you're selling him on the fact that we bringing you in, but you can't fire the head coach. What kind of general manager going to want to deal with that? You're asking people to keep getting hired and have no control over their own fate. How did we even get in this position to where everybody you're talking to bring in, you're basically telling them you don't have control of your own fate? So if the defense sucks, hey, that's on you. Hey, this is a good defense. They shouldn't have digressed. But if they do, you have to own that. It's ridiculous. This is what we're dealing with. That's why if Miami wants to get it right, you have to bring in Harbaugh because you're going to give him the money and he has the cachet to where he ain't playing none of that crap. If he want a new quarterback, he going to get a new quarterback. If he want to change that coaching staff, he going to change that coaching staff. That would make things right. Because how we're operating now is Flores, listen, I know you don't want to fire a lot of people because they're Flores people and it's unfair to them with how he behaved. But that's his staff. He has to own that. They're firing, if the coach even want to fire him. They may not want to, but you got to let them have that decision. That's unfair. That's crazy to me. Flores has to own the fact that they get fired if they do. He the one who brought him in. He has to own that. The organization shouldn't have to own that. You hired Flores. He brought his staff in. And if he acts up, You out him, and if the next head coach wants to out his staff, they should have every right to. You don't owe anybody on his staff anything, regardless of his behavior or not. His behavior comes with his decisions. Weird, and this is not business-like. That's why I don't understand this from Ross. This doesn't even sound like a billionaire's behavior. That's why I'm shook. I'm shook that the decision-making being made right now. This ain't even in a billionaire's DNA. It's not. That's why I know in that organization, Ross ain't doing nothing but sitting back and letting everybody tell him what he need to do. And I understand that to a degree, but God dog, Ross, this is where you need to take your business acumen and be smart about this. Whatever head coach come in, you need to get them the free reins to do as they choose outside of picking draft picks, because y'all got to work that out together. We understand that piece of it. But as far as personnel and coaching staff, you cannot handcuff your head coach. And y'all think it's easy to find a head coach. I'm going to be honest with you. The saddest part about it is Mike McDaniels would do a lot better for his resume not to come to Miami, just to be honest with y'all. I know y'all don't want to hear that, but it's just the truth, because it's too dangerous for his resume and his career. I wouldn't even want to come to Miami with this situation. But the sad part about it is, if he does come to Miami, I feel like we just got people who just want that promotion. Yes, I finally made the next level. And it looked like it's your last option anyway. It's something to be said when you hire your last option. That says a lot too. Stephen Ross, please stop making simple difficult. But he's not a football guy. This is what you got to understand. He's not a football guy. So he has to go off of what everybody around him saying. But that's why I went off last week when everybody told me I was being drama-filled, when I was going off on Stephen Ross for being an absent owner who don't know nothing about this game and just shows up on game day and let Greer and all of them whisper in his ear. You come in that building and you start understanding how this game is played, and you start making your own conclusions, whether you're right or wrong. The longer you do that, the better you'll get on making better decisions when it comes to football. You ain't got to be perfect right away. Learn it, though. Grow over the years. So you know when somebody whispering in your ear what's crap and what's not. What's an excuse and what's not. But I'm sorry, y'all. I got to keep it 1,000 with y'all. My last straw was drawn with Ross when that man said out of his own mouth, I will not be the one taking Harbaugh from Michigan. Now, it could have been a regular statement. Okay. But I told y'all, if Harbaugh end up in the NFL and he ain't with the Dolphins, our owner failed us. I could see if the man was going to stay in Michigan. And you ain't going to be like, man, lead him and come. Okay. And even that's a little iffy to me, I would want you to do. But if I'm going to give you that lenience, okay, he's staying in Michigan. Don't try to take him away. Okay. You know, and I still would, but okay. But if the man say he coming to the NFL regardless, and you don't be the one that take him from Michigan, knowing that you got first dibs, knowing that you had a relationship, or at least show everybody that you made the attempt, you have failed this organization. And I'm sorry, it looks like that's what he's doing. Unless we just get breaking news and he's the next head coach, then I'll be doing the stream saying, finally, we back on track, y'all. All right, let's talk, baby. Now I feel like we got some optimism back in our lives. And I ain't gonna lie, I'll be honest with y'all. I'm over here crossing my fingers like, come on, man, shock us, man. Just do it. Shock us. Shock us. Shock us. Go ahead and interview Mike today and just shock us. Breaking news. Harbaugh signs with the ball. Oh, my gosh. Finally. Thank you. You got it right. Finally. Even if it's wrong, the probability is you got it right. But no, we talk about a second interview with Mike McDaniels, man. I'm still holding out hope for that, though, y'all. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I am low-key holding out hope that they get this right. But we out here talking about Mike McDaniels, whose team could not get the job done yesterday. Running game supposed to be the bread and butter. Gets 50 yards. You can only go so far with a great defense in a run game. You need a better quarterback. And Garoppolo wasn't the reason they lost the game, but it was right there, his opportunity to win it. Let me say that again. Garoppolo did not lose that game, ladies and gentlemen, but he sure didn't go win it, and he had an opportunity to several times. Several times. And then you got Stafford, who had a million opportunities several times, and that's what he did. Stafford balled out in the fourth quarter. And I didn't know this. Throughout the season, Stafford threw a lot of interceptions, 17 throughout the season. But in the fourth quarter, he's thrown 13 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. All season in the fourth quarter, when it's clutch time, when it matters most, will help them go 12-5. In the fourth quarter, he's thrown 13 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. And Mike McDaniels, not impressed. Your defense and run game carried you. But this is what I always try to preach to y'all. When a team take away your strengths, do you have a quarterback that can do the whatever's left? When they took away the running game, do you have a quarterback that can win it with his arm? That's why I try to tell y'all, getting us an O-line in a running game will help this team. But when you get in the playoffs and you got a team that can take away that new, fresh running game, do you have a quarterback that can win that game? Especially against a good defense. Defense and running game only gets you but so far. And Ballgame said he's the run game coordinator. Shanahan was the one that screwed them. I agree, Ballgame, but that's my issue with McDaniels. He's the run game coordinator. We got an offensive coordinator coming in who's only a run game coordinator, who don't even have the experience basically running the whole offense. He got experience handling the run game. He don't have experience calling the passing plays or developing the passing game. He's the run game coordinator. Run game coordinator. Shouldn't the next step be him doing everything on his team, handling the whole offense? I agree, Ballgame. I want Caldwell or Harbaugh. Caldwell was my number 1 and Harbaugh was the number 2. But it looked like they ain't even trying to look Caldwell ways, so I done forgot about that. Even though he's still available, but we ain't hearing nothing. We ain't hearing nothing. It's frustrating, man, because you got 2 guys right there. Give them the bank. You got it. You say you'll pay any amount of money to get it right. You got 2 guys right there that give you the best chance to get it right. And I don't hear nothing. But you still can surprise us. You can still surprise us and make us proud. You can. It's right there in front of you. It's right there in front of you. And the best thing with both of those guys, when they come in and evaluate Tua, if they say that they should be able to work with it, it's Tua time. because I believe they could bring the staff and create a perfect offense that could still get it done. And if they come in and say they need a new quarterback, then I know that was the best decision. Either way, but those are the two guys whose opinions would matter most in that area. So if you really want to know what's up with your organization and this quarterback and all of that, that's the guy those are the guys, type of guys you want to get. Frustrating. So frustrating, man. Feel like the answers are right in front of us, but are we actually taking the answer to fill in the blanks? We got to make everything difficult. We got to make everything extra evaluated. So that's the situation with Harbaugh. That's the situation with Mike McDaniels. And I think we all should be in a state to where we want to be surprised. It'll be a proud day. Because if I hear that we hire Mike McDaniels, there's only one thing you got, and that's optimism. Not excitement, just optimism. But it is what it is. We'll see how that works. So in the AFC, in the NFC yesterday, we determined who's going to the Super Bowl. Cincinnati Bengals, led by Joe Burrow, and the Los Angeles Rams, led by Matthew Stafford. And both of these quarterbacks should have taught everyone a lesson. Let's start with Matthew Stafford. I've always told y'all, just like my chart here displays, I always told y'all, man, elite quarterbacks, great quarterbacks, and really good quarterbacks win Super Bowls. If you're in green and you're at least at above average, right now, you have the possibility of winning a Super Bowl. Everybody that's average or below, if you're in black, you're doomed. If you're in green, you got your first 4 years to get your stock up to get above average or better. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to put out a new chart because Joe Burrow just went up one level to really good. Which means if they actually got everything around him, he could really be an elite quarterback in the NFL, not just great. Joe Burrow is about to move up one level. Matthew Stafford on this list is a great quarterback, in my opinion. A lot of people dog Matthew Stafford. And the reason why they dog him is the same reason why they dog Ryan Tannehill. Because they're caught up on where he was before this, the Lions, and how he's won 70 games and lost 90. He was a loser with the Lions. He was a loser putting up numbers every year. Just like Deshaun Watson when he was with Houston. Watson always put up the numbers and won, but that one year he went 4-12. He led the NFL in numbers. When you're on a really bad team, we all know it matters. We all know it matters. But the difference between guys like Joe Burrow, no, not Joe Burrow, but Matthew Stafford and Joe Burrow and Deshaun Watson is you could see the trash around them and still identify that the guy is a really good quarterback or good at a bare minimum. Even with trash around them, you see moments of greatness. And this isn't about a comparison for Tua Tagovailoa. Let's get that straight now. I don't want to talk about that guy right now. But even when you don't have everything around you, your O-line suck, your running game ain't going, your receivers aren't getting separation that day or whatever it may be, those guys still find a way to look good. But if you don't look good when everything around you is struggling, how much better are you going to look when things are around you? Versus a person who looks good without things around them, how much better will they look with things around them? And the issue that I have right now is, how is a team like the Miami Dolphins supposed to compete in the future with a team like even the Cincinnati Bengals when they got a decent defense? It could be a little better, but they got a decent defense. They got 2 good old linemen. The other 3 are trash, by the way. They got a really good quarterback. They got weapons already. They already got a whole lot on that team. And then when you find out they got just as much money as the Dolphins coming into the offseason, they have this more draft picks, because we ain't even got a 3rd round draft pick, just so y'all know. They basically, coming into next season, have everything we have. Plus a 3rd round draft pick, by the way. Let's make sure we get that straight. They have everything we have and a 3rd round draft pick. How are we really supposed to get better than them in the offseason? When the free agents that they can attract will be better than the free agents we can attract. Remember, they got just about the same money as us. Well, we got 70, they got 65, whatever. But when a top offensive lineman, let's say right tackle, says, do I want to go to Cincinnati or Miami? What you think they're going to say now that Cincinnati's in the Super Bowl? Knowing that they still got a horrible O-line, and if they had a better one, they either going back or they guaranteed to win it again, because we don't know if they're going to win. If they win, they going to have the pick of the crop. Everybody's going to want to go to Cincinnati. They got the money and the young core and the team already built, technically. They're going to get first dibs over us in free agency for anyone. And we can only live off of our beautiful beaches, but so long. You don't think teams see, oh, Brian Flores was something good over there. All these coaches in so many years. You think they want to come to that situation? They don't know what's going on over there. We don't know what Tua is. He might be great or he might be a bum. We don't even know. He has to continue to figure it out and get healthy and become better just to see if he'll be the guy. There's too many unknowns down there in South Beach. I think that we're going to have a really hard time in free agency, y'all. A really hard time. It's not going to be what everybody thinks. And anybody we do bring, it means that we're probably going to have to overpay. But it's frustrating because I think that even for us, we make excuses for guys on our team. And some of the excuses aren't excuses, they're reasons and they're valid. Because we know we ain't did Tua justice. I've been telling y'all this from day one. Tua Tagovailoa was never done justice. Outside of not putting enough around him to protect him, we also have created an offense that really is not even developing him. Not even developing him. I'm one of those people that feel like this year will be the first year, if we stick with him, that they decide to develop him. But in that process, he's going to look really bad because we're going to play a lot more pro style system or even West Coast, just depending on what we do. But it's going to be the first time. And as he's learning it to get better, he's going to have some rough moments. He's going to have some moments where you're proud of him and some moments where you're not. And the end result is going to be him not the guy. When the truth is, he should have already had 2 seasons in one of those systems playing like trash so that year 3 he can put his best foot forward and you'll see the best version of himself. And I'm the one that's trying to tell y'all, I feel like you're not going to get his best version because it's going to be his first year running a real pro style or West Coast type offense because nobody is going to keep him in the RPO. And if they do, then they're basically stunning his growth yet another year. I just feel like we've already damaged him from a Miami perspective. If we start him out in another system now, he can eventually become great at it maybe in 3 years if he has it in him, and that's still an if. But if he does have it in him, he can become great in 3 years. But let's be honest, even the biggest Tua fan, do you think he got 3 years in Miami to prove himself right now? Do you think he got 2 years in Miami to prove himself? Especially when next year you got 2 first-round picks, and a year after that you got 1, and you can actually still make a move at that point. Do you really think he's going to have more than 1 year to prove himself? Do y'all realize how good Tua needs to be this year to be on the roster a year after? Let's really talk about it. Do y'all realize how good Tua needs to be this year to be on the roster the following year? This ain't got nothing to do with making the playoffs. We can make a first or second round and get kicked out. He got to be, I'm telling y'all, you realize how good he got to be. I mean, Jimmy G went to an AFC championship and a football and a Super Bowl. You think that they not still going to be trying to upgrade? Ball game said it perfectly. He got to be damn near perfect. Do y'all realize that's what he's going to have to be? Now, let me ask y'all a question in the comment section. And all the haters, hold your hate and be honest. All the people who just love Tua, overly love him, hold your obsession and be honest. Is he going to be perfect? Even an upgraded, playing really good Tua, is he going to be perfect? On a scale of 1 to 10, that man got to play 9-level football this year. You think he playing 9-level football in a new system that when we do deploy that system, even before he looks his absolute worst in? I don't know if y'all paid attention. Anytime they line him up in a pro style, it's a disaster. And it's their fault, by the way. It's their fault. They should have been had him in that type of system so he could work the kinks out, but they didn't. So now a coach coming in, we need to put him in a pro. That's why when you look at Trevor Lawrence, Trevor Lawrence, he's struggling, TD. What do you mean? He's not better than Tua. He's in a freaking pro-style system in his first year. Zach Wilson, he's struggling, TD. He's in a pro style, and they are not abandoning that. They're sticking with it, letting them get the kinks out. That's why I was shocked when your boy in New York with the Jets, the last 5 games he played some of the best competition: the Chiefs, the Titans, the Pittsburgh, the Ravens, Buffalo, and threw 0 interceptions in 5 games to end the season. Talk about a guy who been throwing all them picks. And in the last 5 games of the season, threw 0 interceptions and without any of his starting wide receivers. That's the progression that they know is coming when you keep them in a pro-style system and let them work them kinks out. Let them work them kinks out. so he can start to understand how defenses play you in a pro style system. What that 4-3 looks like, what that 3-4 looks like when you run in a pro style system. Start getting you used to it because we know you ain't did much of it in college. Drew Bertrand said, "This is the most reasonable take I've heard you make, TD. This is the take I've always given these takes. It's just people pick and choose when they want to listen and what they want to listen to. Most of this conversation ain't new. My people have heard me say a lot of this stuff before. Some people get so caught up on the things they disagree and don't like that they stick on those instead of everything that I'm saying. But anyway, let's get back to it. Tua is at a disadvantage right now. And I keep telling y'all it's not his fault. Now, this doesn't excuse the things that he has to own himself in his play. I want Tua to be more hungry. I want Tua to be out there going after it, getting it. Somebody told me the other day, well, I can't knock him for what he does on his personal time. Well, as an analyst who's basically putting in work to make an opinion about stuff, I can be concerned about the fact that in his personal time, he's not devoting some of that to football. And I don't know all his personal time because maybe he does devote a lot of it to football. But I'm sorry, I got to be honest with y'all. When Tua's in the position that he's in now, everything needs to be devoted to football. Because I know he has a talent in him that needs to be tapped into properly. And I'm just one of those people that know that it ain't going to happen in Miami because we already screwed him. But he needs to be doing everything possible to make a miracle happen in Miami or show his future team that you would be stealing from Miami if you go trade for me. And listen, I don't mind Tua playing golf. That's another thing. Let me make sure y'all clear about. Ain't nothing wrong with that man playing golf. But you know what? As fans, we like to see just as many videos of him training with weight resistance and hip flexors and throwing drills with receivers, just as much of those videos as the golf videos. Why we got a new golf picture or video every week and nothing with a football in it? I want him to be hungrier this year. I want him to give himself a real fighting chance. Because if we stick with Tua, I'm going to tell y'all up front now, I am going to be the fairest person I can to him and try to give him a little benefit of the doubt this season. Because if we switch to a pro-style system, what some of y'all have to understand is if you truly are fair to Tua, if we switch to a pro-style system and he struggles, we have to evaluate the level of struggle. Because honestly, he's supposed to struggle in a pro-style system. Until he gets it. But we got to start by bringing in a coach that's about his business. And let me tell you another reason why they probably won't bring in Harbaugh. Or if they do bring in Harbaugh, it definitely debunks this narrative y'all have about Flores being mean to Tua. Because if y'all know, y'all tell me in the comment section if you know anything about Harbaugh. I don't care what Tua was. I mean, what Flores was to Tua. Harbaugh don't hold back for nobody. Harbaugh ain't no joke. I don't care what stories y'all heard about Flores and Tua. If you know Harbaugh, psh, You bringing in worse than Flores when it come to that type of stuff. He gonna tell you as a player what it is straight up. So all this, he was mean to him and all this and that, man. Harbaugh don't play that mess, man. Alex Smith was a good quarterback. Hey, Kaepernick it is. And let me tell you why. like this man is straight to it. Ain't nothing in his vocabulary but better chance to win. Not politics. Harbaugh wipe all that politics out. That's why you got to pay him that bag to get him. Because you pay me all this money and don't give me control, you're the one that's going to hurt at the end of the day. And he going to want guaranteed money. And I get that ball game. It's different, though, when you know the guy knows offense and Flores don't know anything about offense. I get that aspect of it as well. But at the same token, man, if Tua's struggling, it's still going to get a kid frustration. It's still going to give him frustration. If Tua's struggling and Harbaugh all up in him, whether he know it or not, I'm going to be honest. Harbaugh is the ultimate. It's almost like if Harbaugh up in you, he probably going to have flashbacks from Flores. He probably going to, I mean, come on, man. We'll see. We'll see. The only part about it, though, that I'm scared about with Tua Tagovailoa is this. This is what I'm scared about with Tua. I'm actually scared to get a run game for him. It's the same theory I have with Josh Allen, and time will tell. I don't know if it's true or not, but time will tell. Here's what I'm scared about. When you actually have a run game and you're focusing on the run, what you kind of try to do is run the ball 2 out of every 3 times. That's just how it works. And sometimes you'll throw the ball 2 out of every 1 time, but you run it more than you throw in that aspect. And I feel like Tua is the type of guy where first down, you rush for 4 yards. Second down, you rush for 3 yards. And it's 3rd and 3, and you're going to put it in his hand. He's so inconsistently inconsistent that we're going to punt the ball. We're going to punt the ball a lot. When you give him 1 chance, we're going to punt the ball a lot. But if you let Tua throw it 2 or 3 times, we can move the ball down the field. We can definitely move it down the field. You get Tua 1 chance, we'll punt the ball a lot. You give him 2, we can move the ball down the field. He can hit a tight end for 2 yards and they run for 8 more. But you leave it up to that 1 opportunity, we're going to punt the ball a lot. That's what I'm scared about with the run game, because some quarterbacks get caught into that. Do you want better? You run on first down, you get 6 yards. 2nd and 4 are downs where you want to take a shot. You miss that shot, or you turn it over because you're trying to go deep, trying to take a shot. But you miss that shot, now it's 3rd and 4, and you know it's in his hands. We're not likely to run it as much on that. We're going to punt the ball a lot. And I hope that if we create that type of system, I'm wrong. Because I feel like even in that system, that's actually still a successful run game. If you can get 8 yards and 2 downs, anything over 3 yards is successful running. Any down where you run more than 3 yards, 4 or more is actually a successful run. Just so you know. And I feel like we could become that team that can run 4 yards each, but have a lot of 3rd and shorts and miss out. And got to take chances to go for it in bad situations. Unless we become so great in the run game, and I'm going to talk about that in a second too. Unless we become so great in the run game where First down, we got 7 yards. Second down, we got 6. Another first down. Let's keep it going. You see what I'm saying? But you have to understand how much better we got to get in the run game to do that. And let me tell y'all another thing. Here's another concern of mine when we go through this process of building the run game. When you look at many of the offensive linemen right now, they are not run blockers. Many of the guys we have now are not great run blockers. Creating a power O, I feel like it's a whole makeover in the personnel up front. You might have 1 or 2 guys that's serviceable in a power O, but this is not a run blocking line. At least not one that I think can actually become great. Just my opinion. And that presents an issue as well. So once we identify what coach we're going to bring in, once we identify that officially, we should have a good gauge on what type of offense that we're going to run. I'm going to go in the comment section real quick, answer some of the questions. We got part 2 today or tonight of the Building Around Tua series. Part 1 was complete of the offense. Part 2 we're going to do today no matter what, even if it has to be late tonight. Excuse me. We're going to make sure that we get that done. All right. Y'all give me 1 second. I want to pull something up for y'all. Give me 1 moment. All right. Where did it go? Hey, give me a second. I gotta find it real quick. When I find it, I'll show y'all. I wanted to show y'all something that was pretty cool that I thought was pretty cool. But y'all will see. Let me make sure I ain't. Yeah, it's not up there. Anyway, once I find it, I'll make sure you guys see. Anyway, also tonight at 8 p.m. I want y'all to tune in. It's going to be the first episode of the Fins Tailgate on TD Fins Talk. We have our off-season lineup set every single night, Monday through Friday, and some Saturdays you will have great content, multiple streams. On Monday nights, you're going to have the Fins Tailgate. We will be live tonight. I'll be there with the Fins Tailgate. We got a collaboration on the show tonight, and every Monday going forward, they will host their show on TD Fins Talk at 8 p.m. on Mondays from 8 to 9 or 8 to 9:30. I think it's 9:30, but I'll check with the guys again to make sure. So please come show your love, come show your support. Again, if you're not subscribed to the guys, you'll get all the information you need tonight to go check them out. So on Monday nights, the Fins Tailgates will be live here on TD Fins Talk, and I will be a guest tonight, and it's going to be pretty cool, man. Also Tuesday nights, we're going to have all content creators will be welcome on screen. All content creators will be welcome on the streams. As long as you're drama free, all content creators will be welcome on Tuesday nights. All right. We will be here on TD Fins Talk. We already have Larry K. We got the Fins Tailgate. We got Batman and Company. We got several different groups that'll be here on Tuesday nights, and we'll do a round table and a panel going forward. On Wednesday nights, we have Larry K. He'll be doing his show from 8 to 9 or 9:30. So like I told y'all, we got the whole lineup ready for y'all for the summer. All right. And on Thursday nights, we also have Miami Sports Fanatic Show. They'll be on Thursday nights. And Friday nights, I'm working on something that should be real special. I'm waiting to get a final confirmation from a few people. And on Friday nights, we're going to have something as well. So throughout the summer, you will have content on Monday through Friday nights, plus everything I already do. I'm still doing everything that I do. Daytime, evening streams, night stream, I'm still doing it all. But you have a full lineup throughout the whole summer of constant Fins talk at around 8 p.m. every single night. All right. Saturdays I have open right now because I actually don't have it open. I have something coming for you all as well, but I'm still working on a few details with that before I announce it. All right. So we got a great lineup for you guys. If you are a content creator and you're serious about creating great Dolphins content and you want more people to know that you exist and you want to get your content out there, hit me up. I may have an opportunity for you to have a voice on this platform. I will have to have that conversation to make sure that it's a good fit for this channel and yours as well. So just making sure that everybody has that opportunity, because I've been hearing a lot of great content out here in the Dolphins community, but it's such a shame that so many people don't know some of these people exist. So what we're doing over here is making sure many people have an opportunity, all right, for a large group of people to know that they exist. All right. When I go on their streams, I see 15, 20, 50 people. But we have 5, 7, 8, 1,000 people at times. I want to put some of these people in front of you guys and then, gauge how y'all think about them if you really like what they're doing. That way you can go check them out and their content, man. Got some great creators out here, but I want to make sure over here you all are able to hear from them all. So get ready for it. And hopefully you enjoy it. I know I am. All right. Hit that like button. We almost at 300 likes. Hoping for Jim Harbaugh to be the next coach. Aren't we all? That would be my number one. All right. Let's see here. Tua, y'all leave Tua alone. Harbaugh burns out hot. That's why he didn't talk with the 49ers. And he got them to a Super Bowl. So now if Burrow owns Mahomes, then we can say Mahomes owns Allen. None of those guys own none of those guys. It's just a simple matter of, see, when you got quarterbacks on that level, quarterbacks don't own each other. It's more evenly matched to where the teams own each other. Thank you for saying that too, because that was a topic I wanted to talk about and I almost forgot about it. Ladies and gentlemen, when I talk about these narratives that you need an elite, great, or really good quarterback to win a Super Bowl, I mean that. I didn't say you need a better quarterback to win a Super Bowl. A really good quarterback can be an elite quarterback. I didn't say the better quarterbacks wins the Super Bowl. But you need a guy in that range. Ain't no average quarterback winning no Super Bowl in today's football era. And when I say today's football era, that's like the last 15 years. Ain't no average quarterback winning no Super Bowl. It just ain't going to happen. And it hasn't happened. We went through the math last week. 64 eligible quarterbacks in the last 16 years. 6 of them that were not elite, not great, and not really good went to an AFC or NFC championship. Only 2 actually went to a Super Bowl, and that was Flacco and Garoppolo. And Flacco played like a freaking great quarterback that year. The man has 0 turnovers in the playoffs. The man played like a great quarterback that year. His best year. We've already done the math. One guy out of all 60, out of all those guys won a Super Bowl, and that was Flacco. On a historic great defense. We've done the math already, man. You got to be elite, you got to be great, or you got to be really good. Even the bare just good with everything around you can't get it done. Jimmy G is good with everything around him. Ain't good enough. Can you win games in the playoffs? Yeah. But history shows you ain't winning no Super Bowl. You're not. And everybody points to that one team, the Eagles, with Nick Foles. People forget how great Nick Foles played in the playoffs. The championship round, he had over 400 yards. The round after that, the Super Bowl, 380 something or something like that. Wasn't turning the ball over. Plus, they backup running back, Jay Ajayi, was the second string. And everybody knew it with Jimmy G last night, man. Everybody knew Jimmy G would have a moment in that game where he screwed it up. And when we got to the fourth quarter, you looked up and said, wow, Jimmy G is actually playing a clean game. And sure enough, when you're one of those guys like Jimmy G, the odds, it still happens. You may have had 3 quarters and you screwed if you go there. And Shannon Sharp said it earlier today, and he was so right. What you needed was Jimmy G to have his screw up early in the game and overcome it. But it's devastating when he screws up late in the game. When you screw up late in the game. And it started with that same drive. Jimmy G throws it in the flat to the ground. Didn't even get a receiver a chance. Then he throws another one for -3 yards. Then he fighting for his life not to get sacked. And the person he threw it to that got picked, the person he threw it to was still 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. How can you make 3 plays where you throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage when you're down in the fourth quarter and this is the game-winning drive? And you pick the option of the guy behind the line of scrimmage 3 times in a row. 3 times in a row. Yeah, we know Eli wasn't elite. Eli wasn't great either, but he was really good. Eli was that third tier. He wasn't elite. He wasn't great, but Eli was really good. Pay attention. I said you got to be elite, great, or really good. That basic good, that above average, and that average, that's the most dangerous place to be in the NFL. That's the most dangerous place to be in the NFL. That good, above average, and average, that's when you don't know if you got the guy. They good enough to make plays in any given game, but they also bad enough to screw it for you in any given game. Slippin' Jimmy said, you can't have a physically limited quarterback in today's NFL. Tom Brady saw the Bills-Chiefs game and is like, I'm out of here. Well, we don't know if he out of here yet, but I get your point. And you don't have to have a physically you can have a physically limited quarterback. I think let me tell you this. You always could have a physically limited quarterback in the NFL, but you got to win with your brain. You gotta be able to do all the intangibles. You gotta be able to audible into a perfect play based off of what you see pre-snap. You gotta be able to identify your alerts, your hots. You gotta call your protections up front. You got to be a maestro like Peyton Manning was. You just have to. You have to. You got to be a maestro. You got to make them pay for every schematic thing that they do. If you don't have the physical traits and athleticism and physicality, you have to beat them with your brain. But many of these average or above average quarterbacks don't really have that. Most of these guys ain't got it though. And it sucks. Look at Daniel Jones. Can't read defenses, inaccurate, has a fumbling problem. But since he's has mobility ability and has a cannon, they're gonna work with him until and hopefully eventually tap what they can, just like Josh Allen. Which is so telling because I just found out that Daniel Jones had a better rookie year than Josh Allen. Much better. But both of these quarterbacks, what allowed them to continue forward is their ability to run the ball in athleticism and the arms they have. You can work with that. So out of all your baggage that needs to be corrected, you still keeping us afloat potentially with that athleticism. But when you struggle like they do and you ain't got the athleticism, it's really bad. When you don't have that mobility and you struggling, it gets really bad. And that's the difference. That's the difference. So for the record, you don't need the better quarterback to win, but you need one of those quarterbacks in one of those top levels. Once you got a guy in those top levels, everybody can compete with each other then. Burrow not Mahomes, but he in those both of them in those top 3 levels so they can compete. And the team around can make the difference. But when you got one in that upper level and another one in that bottom level, it's real hard. It's real hard to compete. You got to have some type of historic type defense or something. Special teams got to show up just like Green Bay. Special teams showed up for them. Something like that got to happen. An element of the game that everybody ignore. Oh, there it is. And that was the difference maker. Because there ain't no way San Francisco would have won that game had they not blocked that kick and scored the touchdown. Just wasn't going to happen. It wasn't going to happen. Wasn't going to happen. Mano a mano, offense, defense, they would have never beat Green Bay. Special teams had to be the deciding factor. But Green Bay coach actually said, I'm scared we'll lose for my special teams. The Green Bay coach actually said that like a day before the game. I just hope our special teams doesn't kill it for us because they're not good. The coach said that. And sure enough, why did they lose? Special teams. Josh Allen was a train wreck year 1 and 2. Let's not act like he showed up and dominated out the gate. Oh, no, there was zero domination. He was trash. But again, like I keep telling y'all, they loved his ability to still make plays with his legs early on. They still saw him make plays where they felt real good about developing him around his game. What's up, EM? I see you, man. Y'all hit that like button. We almost got 300 likes. Josh Allen had flashes, cannon arm, and mobility. I agree. It was still bad overall, but he definitely showed flashes. Definitely. And once again, a pro-style offense versus an RPO. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe I'm the only one that thinks this way out here, but you cannot compare the two. You cannot compare a quarterback in the RPO with a quarterback that's in a pro-style offense. For these kids, it's not easy running a pro-style offense. I remember arguing with somebody, Tua, I don't think any of these other quarterbacks would be as good as Tua in a short and intermediate RPO type format where you force them to throw short. Burrow just killed that narrative. He killed that with Tennessee. He killed that narrative with Tennessee. That was the problem with Burrow in the first half. He kept looking for Chase and Higgins deep, and everything was double covered, nothing deep. And he was holding on to the ball too long. He wasn't helping his team in the first half because he was looking for everything deep. And basically they were forcing him into the short and intermediate game. Halftime came, he played right into that short and intermediate game for half of the game, and he put up 350 pretty much yards in half of a pretty much game, in my opinion. He did it all in the second half. Said, okay, you're going to force me to keep everything underneath? Well, let me be surgical with it. And they were still dropping his balls. Pause. They were dropping everything a lot of the passes he was throwing. The man had 6 drops and nine incompletions in the game. So outside of those drops, that man could have been 90% completion percentage. He killed the short and the intermediate game. Killed it. Nobody will be as efficient as Tua in this format. The man is like 70% in this format. Burrow running 80+% in that format. He ended the game with 76% completion. And that was with taking some intermediate shots early in the game. So, no. Anyway, man, I'm about to get up out of here. Just wanted to drop this quick stream on y'all to tell y'all the updates. Outside of that, we really ain't hearing much at all. This is TDPHINSTALK, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Again, we got the 8 p.m. show tonight. Make sure you come check it out. And I'm also going to be doing part 2 of the Build Around Tua series. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. See y'all soon. Peace. I am